Hello, our loves. You've reached Joanne and Elizabeth with World's Cup of Joe. Awaken your soul, your channel for all things twin flames. We are here guiding you, teaching you how to get into the balanced, neutralized energy that your twin flame craves and the energy that allows them to stay permanently with no more push and pull dynamics. So, with that being said, I want to jump deep into the question we received and tackle it with some soul love energy and really just help you all shift. And that's what we want to do on this channel. We want to help shift you all into releasing whatever may remain of addictive energy towards your twin flame and bring you into the level of balanced, neutralized energy that allows them to come back into your space and stay there. So here's the question we got, and then we will start tackling it. Okay, so I've been doing the detox and I feel like my love for him is fading away and it's causing some sort of fear in me. It's weird. Can anyone guide me? And I will just say, yes, we can. So Joanne, let's start with you, love.
Okay, so totally normal. The detox purpose is to release addictive energy, and you will get to that state of neutrality. So the neutral state, this is the confusing part. When we meet our twin flame, we think it's to be like in a relationship with them, and it's all about like a soulmate. It's like a soulmate template, right? And then we realize, holy crap, this is a spiritual awakening. Your twin flame is you. This is a soul's journey. Holy freaking moly, your whole life changed, right? And so now you're waking up to the true you. You are doing this detox because it's driven you crazy, that your person, right? I'm sure everybody understands. And you're finally at a peace. And the mind is really confused. And so that's why fear is coming up, which is mine, by the way. And that's totally normal. And we just made a video on releasing addictions to get to this place of neutrality, to where you're in soul and where your person can be in your space. And that's really what's happening here, my love. When you are so focused on your person, and everything is about your person because they are literally our biggest drug. Everything and all things, all consuming is of them. And when you're detoxing, you're releasing that addictive energy. It's no longer about them. And that's the exact reason why so many people, when they reach this place of neutrality, their mind starts acting up like, oh, error, right? Error. I'm supposed to be obsessed about my person. I'm supposed to, because we think love is conditional. We think like, I have to always think about them for me to be in love with them. But it's not. That's not what unconditional love is. Unconditional love is simply being love. I love you simply for being you. You are love. I am not only loving you, but I love all. And this is what this connection is. This connection is the love of soul, the love of the universe. It's the purest form of unconditional love. It's literally the love of God. And so the love of God is not emotions. It isn't emotions. It is pure being. And that love is felt simply from the love of isness, right? We feel that love of isness because of the love that exists in all of us. And so this question, doing the detox, and I'm starting to not feel love, what you're starting to feel actually is neutrality. There's no highs, there's no lows. You're at neutral, which is soul. Soul isn't good or bad, it just is. Soul is no highs or lows, but being. And that is soul, my love. There is a video, and I'll link it below. And I talk about this video a lot, but this is literally the shift in this journey. This is where everyone can feel normal, just like this beautiful soul who's thinking, oh no, something's wrong, I'm losing love. What you're actually doing is you're breaking the paradigm of conditional love, right? The soulmate template of I do this for you, you do this for me, and therefore you love me. That's why you're freaking out and thinking you're losing love for him. What you're losing is desire, which is in the lower scale of consciousness. Desire is actually below anger. So it's actually worse to desire your twin flame than yelling at your twin flame. Yelling at your twin flame in anger will actually not push them away crazy enough because you're pulling that energy in. Again, we want you to really understand the scale of consciousness. So when you look at David Hawkins, there is a scale that shows you what type of love you guys are all shifting to. And the love that you're shifting to is not conditional love, which is that lower scale of desire and jealousy and fear, all lower scale. What you're shifting to is actually love, which is the higher scale of being love, which is peace, which is love, which is joy, which is right like before enlightenment. And in order to reach there, guess what's in the middle, my love? It's the sweet spot. It's the best spot of all. This is the spot that I like to call that scale where you reach it, you can reach the high scale. And when you reach this spot, you can't be touched by the lower scale. And it's called neutrality. And it's above anger. And that's why I said anger is actually okay, because you're pulling it in instead of spewing it out, which is what desire does. When we think we desire our twin flame, like, oh, I really, really love him. He's amazing. Well, guess what? In that same energy, oh, he's a jerk. That's still duality. Good, bad. When you reach neutrality, there's no good or bad. I don't need my twin flame. Holy smokes, I am my twin flame. It just is. And neutrality is where you can start reaching the scales of being love. So what you're actually doing, love, is you're shifting the paradigm of your connection to where you become and embody the love that you are as soul. And the video that I was referring to that's changed so many ways for us to explain this is beautiful soul asked a question. My twin flame wants to have my kids and marry me. Why am I not excited? Why am I so neutral? Am I going crazy? So I'll link that below. It's totally normal. It's totally normal. This connection is energetic. And that is why when you reach the place of neutrality, your person is all over you, my love. And what you're reaching, so this beautiful soul who's doing their detox so beautifully, by the way, you're doing amazing, love, to be at the space where you're losing those parts of you that's desiring your twin flame. You're reaching this place of neutrality where you can be neutral with your twin flame, where they can be in your space. Just like in the beginning, they were able to be in your space before the addictive energy got all crazy, right? You are getting into this place where the addictive energy doesn't touch you both anymore, and you could be with your twin flame. What do you think, love?
Okay, so we talked about this in another video, but it's been a while. And we talked about it in a blog post, but it's been a while. So I think it's time for a good refresher on this subject. And I love talking neutrality. And why? Because neutrality is also a place of detachment. And I remember I had this download, was like, wow, we tend to, as a society, think of someone that's detached in a really negative, judgmental light. Like, you're so detached from the situation. Why can't you take more stock in it? Why can't you be more invested in this outcome? Well, when you look at that through soul, or you look at that through an awakened self, you can see that we've been going about it all wrong. And detachment is actually the spiritual pathway to your highest self. I freaking love talking about detachment. And why? My goal in life, seriously, now that I'm awakened, is to learn how to be detached from all things, including my twin flame. I even go as far as to be detached to my children, to my family, and not in a bad, negative way the mind wants to judge, right? When I say that meaning when my kids come to me and they're full of mind energies that they're spewing on me, Mom, I need this, or I'm upset about this, or da 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 da, the way, children can, because they're wrapped up and immersed in other people's mind energies, judgments, labels, all the things that childhood, adolescence brings, I want to be detached. I want to be detached from looking and judging through a place of mind, through a place of duality. I want to be detached where I can just be with my children and send them love and not be swayed by the attachment to an outcome, because that's where the mind gets all crazy. Is being attached to anything is an attachment to an outcome. It's a preference. And learning how to be detached to all is becoming the observer. It's starting to not be shifted by these external things that would normally rock our worlds upside down. Now we can see them. Well, I'm not attached to this outcome, so I can be okay and I can be at peace. Because detachment to me is peace. It really, truly is. It's being so far removed from an outcome that we can be in acceptance of whatever comes our way, and we could then surrender to whatever the universe is trying to bring to us. Because when we are attached to an outcome, we're in a place of the opposite of surrendering. We are not trusting what our soul is trying to do for us. And so what I mean by that is, for example, I ended up back on St. Patty's Day. I went and I did a 5K with my person's sister-in-law, and I ended up hitting her car. The mind was so upset. Why did this happen? Why did this happen? And I finally ended up saying, I trust my soul. I know that all's working out for me. And I'm going to release all of the judgment, because I was really angry at myself for being so careless. And then I had to release and surrender and get to this place of detachment to the outcome of what was going to happen, whether I had to pay a lot of money, whether I was going to have to, whatever was going to happen, I surrendered and I became detached. And what revealed itself to me, what the universe revealed itself to me, was actually this incident was actually a catalyst into bringing me something better that I wouldn't have done without this scenario happening. And as soon as it all started to line up, it was like, I get it. I get why we need to be detached from outcomes. I get why we need to be surrendered. And surrender and detachment is a little bit different than neutrality, but it all goes hand in hand. When you can get to this place that you're describing where you feel neutral, which really is like that stepping stone where you're finally shifting into this permanent place of focusing solely on you and never going back to looking at what your person is thinking, feeling, and doing, you're becoming detached from the stories. You're becoming detached from an outcome. You're becoming detached from preferences. And you're finally shifting into the energetic space where your person can see you again, where they want to see you again, where they want to be near you. So your goal in balancing, once that happens, because this space, I'm telling you, my love, is the space that always precedes, oh, my person just contacted me. What do I do now? It really does. When you hit this level of neutrality, you're becoming detached from the preferences. And this is right that sweet spot where within like a short period of time, we end up getting a message saying my person reached out. Always. It's like clockwork, because the energy is very, very consistent. It works like clockwork. We say that all the time. It's like clockwork. It is. Right, Joanne? It follows the same set of rules.
Yeah, it does.
So when you get to this place of neutrality, you're now in this place where it's like your person craves you, and that's why they're reaching out to you. And what's cool is that you can start watching it. And with me and my person, when I started hitting neutrality, I remember looking at him and I was like, I see that you're still really handsome, but why was my mind creating you to be God? And I started shifting how I saw him. And I started seeing flaws of his. Like, I still loved him. I loved him unconditionally. But I started seeing that he was human instead of what the mind wanted to see before, which was he was untouchable. And now I was like, okay, I get it. You're human. And it was because I was detaching from all of it. I was becoming so neutral. And in that space is like the energy that I was giving off before to him, that I was pushing on to him, which was like almost an idolization, was finally reversing itself. And he was able to be comfortable in my space again. And that's sort of the energy that I've maintained now, living together and balanced. And it's peaceful. Neutrality is peace. It really is. And so I love that you're in this space. I want you to not let the mind take away all of the hard work you've been doing to get here and not judge it, because the mind is going to judge and say you're doing something wrong, when in actuality, you're exactly where you need to be. You're right before that final shift where it's all about you. So good job, love.
Yeah. And it's going to allow everybody to feel normal. Oh my gosh, I'm no longer obsessing about my person. What? I was doing this forever. But remember, the obsessing and being all crazy about your person is like what kept them away. You're shifting into some new paradigm, my love. This is a new shift that you're doing, is shifting onto this place of neutrality. And when you release all desires, is pure freedom. Because Elizabeth's right. Like, we want to be as detached from expectations, preferences, and judgment as much as possible, because when we are able to truly be with everything, detached from outcomes, we're able to truly be who we are as soul. And when you said, when you can release your twin flame with these desires and expectations and preferences, when you said that, love, I saw like a big like veil that was covered, released. And all I saw was two come as a whole. And so that's what's happening to all of you, my love, is your one shared soul desires itself. And until you fully release those expectations, the preferences and judgments that's putting that veil between your one shared soul, keeping you both apart, you can allow your one shared soul to be when you are being still, allowing your soul to be one when you are one. We love you guys so much. We hope you have an amazing day. I hope everyone felt the good energy in this video, because the videos we've been making, my love, are amazing. They're always my favorite. The newest videos are our most amazing videos. Like, you're my favorite. You're my favorite. It's like Abraham Hicks, right? She's like literally saying, like, every bird that comes here, you're my favorite bird. Every video we make, my love, is my favorite video. Seriously, you're my favorite video. You're my favorite video. We love you. Bye, love.
Bye, love.